Jesus walks on water? Did he really walk on the water to the disciples? In Matthew chapter 14 verses 22 through 33, we read the story of Jesus walking on water to reach his disciples who were in a boat during a storm. After Jesus had fed the 5,000, he sent his disciples ahead of him by boat while he went up on a mountainside to pray. As the disciples sailed across the Sea of Galilee, a strong wind began to blow, and they were tossed about by the waves. In the middle of the night, Jesus approached them, walking on the water. When the disciples saw him, they were terrified, thinking he was a ghost. Jesus immediately reassured them, saying, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." Peter then responded, "Lord, if it's really you, tell me to come to you on the water." Jesus said, "Come," and Peter stepped out of the boat and began walking toward Jesus. But when Peter saw the wind, he became afraid and began to sink. He cried out, "Lord, save me." And immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. Jesus asked, "Why did you doubt?" And then they both got into the boat. When Jesus and Peter entered the boat, the wind died down, and the disciples worshipped him, saying, "Truly, you are the Son of God." This story reveals several important truths about faith and the power of Jesus. First, it shows that Jesus has power over nature and can do what seems impossible. Walking on water is a miraculous act that demonstrates his divine authority. Second, it teaches us about the importance of faith and trust in Jesus. Peter was able to walk on water as long as he kept his focus on Jesus, but when he took his eyes off of him and focused on the wind and waves, he began to sink. This reminds us that when we keep our faith in Jesus and trust in his power, we can overcome challenges, but when we allow doubt and fear to take over, we may struggle. Finally, the story reveals Jesus' willingness to help us in our moments of need. When Peter cried out for help, Jesus immediately reached out and saved him. This shows that Jesus is always ready to help us when we call on him in faith. Jesus, walking on water, teaches us that with faith in him, we can face the storms of life and overcome our fears. It reminds us to keep our focus on Jesus and trust in his power to help us through every trial.